Hi, welcome to your astrology forecast for January 16th through January 22nd, 2015. And on January 16th, the moon moves into Sagittarius, and then it conjuncts Saturn in Sagittarius. So normally, when the moon's in Sagittarius, we feel feelings of expansion and wanting to go beyond our comfort zones, perhaps see new things, learn new things, and see new places. And when it conjuncts Saturn in Sagittarius, this is going to be putting a focus on what beliefs are holding us back from being able to expand further in the world. And there may be some sense of responsibility or a weight around some of those beliefs. Maybe a commitment or something that we have towards those beliefs that we need to let go of, because perhaps those are what are holding us back from being able to expand further into the world and being able to learn more and grow more. So first we have to contend with that and then perhaps we can learn more and expand more. And then on January 18th, the moon moves into Capricorn. So this is helping us to be able to really bring a focus into our lives, be able to work towards a long-term goal, and be able to take very practical steps and utilize new systems so that we can really start making some major progress towards a goal. And we will feel a lot more serious on this day, which is going to be very conducive to doing that. Then on January 19th, the moon conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn, bringing up some of those unconscious emotions and things that we need to transform, especially when it comes to our career, and maybe what we've been doing to work towards a long-term goal needs to change as well. This can help us to create new systems and transform old systems so that they're more conducive to bringing about your goals and also bringing about new systems into the world. And then Venus in Aquarius opposes Jupiter in Leo. So this could bring up tensions when it comes to our relationships, and even when it comes to our friendships, possibly. So Jupiter in Leo really wants to expand in its creativity. It's also retrograde right now, so the best thing to be doing right now is to actually go within yourself for your creative juices. Really looking inside of yourself can help you to find that expansion that you're looking for. It also is pertinent to romance, because Leo rules the 5th house of romance, creativity, sex, children as well. So we have to kind of dig deeper within ourselves in order to find the expansion that we desire in those areas. And there could be maybe egotistical tendencies holding us back from being able to express ourselves fully. Things that are, maybe we're worried about what others think or something, right? And then Venus in Aquarius really wants to create a sort of, friendship in your romances. And even, just going out and doing more group activities and creating more beauty within your community. With them in opposition, this is really like what it's wanting us to mostly do is to actually expand our horizons more and find more people that are like-minded. And I think there may be tensions that come up around these things when it comes to our relationships. Perhaps somebody is more ready to expand than somebody else, because Jupiter being retrograde, it kind of makes it more difficult to expand because it's kind of more of an inner journey. But Venus in Aquarius does want to create that sense of community, and it also wants to help you go towards your hopes, wishes, and dreams. And maybe we just need to bring more creativity into those things so that we can find the communities that we want to find. And then Mars conjuncts Neptune in Pisces. This is helping us to really bring very idealistic and imaginative ideas into motion. The difficulty with Mars conjuncting Neptune is that it may be more difficult to stay grounded at this time, and a lot of things that we spend our energies on may be somewhat unrealistic. So there is a need, perhaps, to find more grounding activities, like maybe going on a hike, or even just exercising more so that we can kind of stay in our bodies more. But it's also just awesome for really moving forward with some idealistic visions, which is cool, as long as you can stay somewhat grounded while you do that. And then on January 20th, Uranus conjuncts the South Node in Aries. This is going to be helping to really get rid of anything in our personalities or within ourselves that really isn't true anymore. Things that we have held on to about ourselves, perhaps past modes of being, or past identities that are just really not true anymore. Completely clearing those away, and then really tuning into who you are at the core of who you are. The actual piece of what it is that describes what you are, I guess. Kind of that, what is your individual contribution in this whole puzzle of life? Who are you at your core? That kind of thing is really going to become more clear. There's all this clearing away of all shedding old skins kind of thing, so that you can really find out who you are at that core self, so that you can become more of that and create the changes that our world desperately needs. And then the sun moves into Aquarius. Now, this actually is great for being able to really be who you are and express your individuality in a very true and eccentric kind of way. It's also great for finding new friends who are very similar to who you are, and finding groups that are really an expression of who you are. And also being able to incorporate more of yourself into your hopes, wishes, and dreams. And even with Uranus conjunct the South Node in Aries, we could be letting go of old dreams, even, that are no longer who we are part of, or true expression of who we are. Then the moon moves into Aquarius, and as soon as it does, it conjuncts the sun in Aquarius, creating a new moon. So when the moon's in Aquarius, this helps us to nurture our friendships and to nurture our hopes, wishes, and dreams, and really feel very emotionally connected to those things and connected to our communities and our sense of community. And when it conjuncts the sun in Aquarius, this really creates new opportunities for us to be able to find the community that we would feel most comfortable in, and expresses that sense of who we are as well. And we can really come up with new ideas, new dreams, new visions for the world, and new communities and groups. And then on January 21st, Mercury goes retrograde in Aquarius. So while Mercury goes retrograde, this is going to help us to look within ourselves and really find genius insights by going within more. Communication could become very difficult, of course, especially when it comes to communicating on the internet. And our thinking may still be somewhat detached and objective, but we have to be very careful about how we communicate those things. Otherwise, we might step on some toes and, create unnecessary conflict or miscommunication just in general. And yeah, it's really just good for revising perhaps goals when it comes to our hopes, wishes, and dreams, and revising anything that has to do with improving the community or improving friendships even. You have to especially be careful how you communicate with friends at this time. And so it's best to maybe write down things before you say them, or just really go within yourself more often than going out and communicating. And it's going to be retrograde until February 11th, 2015. And then the moon conjuncts Mercury in Aquarius right after it goes retrograde. So that's kind of interesting. It really brings our emotions on board. So we have to be especially careful in how we are communicating our emotions at this time, especially since we're going to be a bit more detached about our emotions, and therefore it's not going to come out exactly how you're actually feeling, since the emotions tend to be more subjective. It's kind of, creates sort of a confusion around that. And then, with Mercury just going retrograde, that just adds on a whole other level of confusion. So you definitely want to be careful in communicating how you feel on that day especially. And then Mercury is at 17 degrees when it goes retrograde, and Jupiter is at 19 degrees of Leo. So they almost oppose, but, they pretty much are in opposition within 2 degrees. And then, Mercury moves away from it again. But basically, they both oppose Jupiter and Leo. So Jupiter in Leo is also retrograde. And Jupiter, it's trying to get us to really expand when it comes to our creativity and be able to learn and grow, and also perhaps help children learn and grow. And of course, there's that romantic twist in there somewhere. Maybe we're learning from our partners as well. But it's also kind of all about inner journeying right now and understanding maybe what your beliefs are, and probably being able to look within more to find the wellspring of creativity within you, rather than looking outside of yourself, which is normally how it works anyway, but it's especially important to do that right now. With them in opposition, it's like we are going to have a lot of trouble being able to communicate and to express ourselves and to express our individuality a bit more at this time. And with the moon in opposition, we may have a disconnect between our emotions and our creativity. And usually we need our emotions to some degree to create. Though, that is debatable, I suppose. Anyways, there is like a interesting thing here with the moon conjuncting Mercury is kind of like your subconscious mind meeting your conscious mind, and then Mercury going, retrograde, it's like you have to go within and maybe understand yourself a little more, a little deeper. And then Jupiter's also asking us to go within. So it's really asking us to go within to find those creative sparks and to find our passion and to find our sense of being able to express ourselves. And honestly, the best way to probably deal with this at this time is to kind of keep your expressions closer to the vest now by maybe just writing some ideas down that you might have and not actually acting on it until after these planets go more direct, especially when Mercury goes direct. You may be able to express some of these things a little easier at that time. Okay. And then the moon conjuncts Venus in Aquarius. So this is going to help us in our relationships. Even though the communication may be off, our feelings will be on board and we'll feel more harmonious in our relationships and be able to feel like we can be more a part of social situations and maybe even hang out with friends, and also being able to nurture and use your creativity a little more in your hopes, wishes, and dreams, and receive some creative insights when it comes to those things, and even insights about your emotional state as well. So, yeah, we can still nurture our relationships, at least. even if our expression isn't fully there. Okay, January 22nd, the moon moves into Pisces. This is going to have us very empathic on this day. We can really feel what other people are feeling. We'll be especially intuitive and perhaps have more imaginary or imaginative ideas come to us. And it's great for fantasizing and daydreaming, though you don't want to get too far off into that world. And it's great for understanding your dreams and understanding symbolism easier. And really tapping into your intuition, understanding your intuition a little more, understanding what is going on under the surface with you emotionally and unconsciously. And then the moon conjuncts Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is really all about what I just said. Our dreams, our dream worlds, even our illusions, perhaps we'll get caught up in some illusions. So try not to veer off too much into fantasy world, try to stay grounded, and maybe pay more attention to your dreams so that you can understand what is going on under the surface with you. And then the moon conjuncts Mars in Pisces. So it is important to exercise on this day because we may get a little bit crabby if we are feeling a little pent up or whatever, and it's a good day to really do something more creative and something that may be more like dancing or something more fun and frivolous in that way. And really enjoy flights of fancy. We may be a bit more impulsive as well when it comes to daydreaminess. Maybe we're more likely to do something that's kind of off the wall or kind of more to do with the fantastic side of life. Yeah, but it's definitely important to maintain some in the body feelings. So really getting grounded and letting out some energies physically would be good. And then the sun in Aquarius sextiles Saturn in Sagittarius. So Saturn is really kind of putting a weight on some of our hopes, wishes, and dreams. It's asking us to really create a new system around that so that we can bring our hopes, wishes, and dreams into reality. And it also wants to make sure that the hopes, wishes, and dreams that we have are in line with who we are and really expresses our individuality. And then there could also be beliefs that are inhibiting us as well that we need to let go of, that are preventing us from being able to expand into who we are and into our hopes, wishes, and dreams. Okay, and also there is a potential that friends could put a weight of responsibility on you during this time because Saturn tends to do that, and then Aquarius rules friendships. So yeah, and there could also be a group belief that is kind of holding you back as well. Sometimes if we're hanging out with certain groups of people, there's a dominant belief that can hold people back from being able to expand beyond what that group is really about. So making sure not to hold on to any belief systems that are surrounding your friendships, and really trying to find friends who won't hold you back in terms of what they see you as. Maybe their beliefs about who you are as a person is also preventing you from being able to move forward beyond what that person sees you as. Okay, now that is all for this week. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. All right, have an awesome week, and I'll talk to you soon.